I got to say first and foremost to you guys, thank you so much for just giving us a bit of your time here this evening and just coming on the radio station airwaves. It definitely is an honor to welcome such a legendary group like you guys.
Oh man, thank you, fam. Thank you for doing the interview with us.
But I know you guys are very, very busy, so I'm going to dive right into this. But I want to take you back to the very beginning, and I have to ask, what is the origin story behind Do or Die? And of course, how did you guys initially get connected and form this phenomenal multi-platinum group?
Oh well, we come from the same neighborhood. Everybody from the same neighborhood, so we was connected to uh, people that we have dealt with, mutual friends, should I say, we have dealt with. So we came from the same neighborhood, uh, same clubs and things of that nature. So we was always in that same atmosphere.
And you can definitely tell as well when you listen to your guys' earlier records, and even today, you can hear your guys' chemistry just throughout all those legendary projects.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you hang around someone for so long, they see what you see. It just connects like that. You know what I'm saying? Energy don't lie.
And also, as well, in the mid '90s, you guys actually landed a deal with the iconic Rap a Lot Records. I was wondering, how did that record deal come to be for you guys? And of course, what was it like working with J Prince?
When the record deal came through, us branding in Chicago, uh, Rap a Lot did a interview with all rap, like 100 rappers, and they found another group called Psycho Double, which was connected to us, and they flew us down. We did a couple of interviews with them, and it was cool, but it wasn't next. So we came back to Chicago, made Pope Pimp, and we reconnected again. Working with Jay Prince, that's a whole different animal. You know what I'm saying? Prince is a whole different animal, but working with him, he make you stay on your toes, man, and understand what the music is all about.
And I agree, he definitely is a hungry individual, man. He's definitely is on a whole nother level. But just being able to be picked out of like over 100 different hip hop artists, man, that's actually phenomenal just to be recognized like that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they say um, if you do the work, the people will find you. So we did the work in Jay Prince's office.
And also, as well, September 3rd of 1996, you guys released your iconic, legendary debut album titled "Picture This" that actually peaked at number 3 on the top hip hop and R&B albums chart. I was wondering, what's the story behind that iconic record, and of course, how did it feel just to hit top 3 on that chart on your guys' debut project?
It was amazing because, growing up from where we come from, you're not thinking these type of things will even happen to you or for you. But it did, and just to see it on the billboards and traveling from city to city, state to state, and things of that nature, man. I mean, it was amazing, man. I just got to say it like this. When those type of things happen to me, that's just God saying, I'm riding with you. Just ride it out.
And I gotta say, that single Bo Pimp, man, in my personal opinion, is still Bo Pimp is actually still one of the biggest songs within hip hop. Man, I still hear that played on the radio here in Canada, man. They're still showing Bo Pimp love.
Oh yeah, like I mean, it's a classic. It'll never go away. It's just one of those songs that when you hear it, it makes you think about where was I when that song came out.
And I read as well that that single actually initially first came out on a tiny Chicago label. I was wondering, could you tell us a bit more about that, if that story is true? And of course, like, how did that song get noticed from an underground label at Chicago?
Well, the underground label was called Seawall, and we had an underground label called Neighborhood Watch. And my cousin Ted and guy named Lucky, we all came together to push the music, and it was just like a simple day of recording in the studio and putting the music together. So once we put the music together, I told Twister I wanted him to jump on the end, and Twister jumped on the end, and the rest was history.
And I gotta say, throughout the years, you guys and Twista have done some phenomenal work together. I do know that he is actually featured on your most recent single as well.
Yeah, he's featured on the song Hotel Room. So, yeah, I mean, we just work together, man. We get in the studio, we knock out some songs for him, he knock out some songs for us. We just continue to put the music out because we know what that chemistry means.
And also, as well, in 1997, you guys actually had the opportunity to collaborate with fellow Rap-A-Lot Records artists, the Fifth Ward Boys, on their album Unusual Suspects. I was wondering if you can tell us a bit more about that studio session, and of course, what was it like just being in there and working with them?
I mean, working with the whole label was amazing. They played the song for me, and once they played the song, we just listened to it. And they was out on the road at the time, and we recorded the song. And Mike Dean mixed and mastered it, and after that, they had them a song to do it now.
And I gotta say, I really enjoyed that song that you guys actually did with them, man. In my personal opinion, you guys had phenomenal chemistry just together on that song.
Yeah, definitely. That was one of the songs that people was waiting on. They was asking me, when you guys gonna get together and do a song or do an album together. We made it happen. Well, they made it happen because they asked about it first, and we just connected and made it happen.
And also, as well, you guys were actually featured on former Death Row Records recording artist Danny Boy's album Advance on the song Nobody's Home. I was wondering, how did you guys actually get connected with R&B star Danny Boy? And of course, what was it like working with Death Row Records?
Well, Danny Boy's from Chicago, so we know some of the same people. Danny Boy from Chicago off the west side. So we know some of the same people too. So Danny Boy got up with us in L.A. when we first came out and did the first show. And after that, we said, man, we're going to put this second album, let's just do Danny Boy and Johnny P. We got into the studio. He knocked it out, man. It sounded good, and that was a whole different level. As far as Death Row, Jay Prince and Suge and everybody was talking about bringing together a distribution company to mobilize music the way it should be for the culture. So that's how us and Death Row got together.
And I have to ask, did that partnership and that distribution deal ever actually happen, or unfortunately did Death Row kind of fold before then?
Well, it was on the way of happening, but as time went on, the feds came in and they went after everybody. They went after Jay and they went after Suge. And Suge is in jail. Everybody was for taxes, and Jay, went under the radar and kept going.
Yeah, it's definitely understandable when that stuff happens. It's always best to pull out of that situation.
Yeah.
But no, again, with the whole Danny Boy thing, man, I gotta say, Danny Boy is one of those R&B artists, man, that in my personal opinion has one of them voices that can make a blind man cry, man. Such a tremendous, talented individual.
Yeah, I mean, he's amazing. You got to think about it. If Tupac putting you on a song, you're doing something right. Tupac, was one of the top artists in the world to this day, and he was putting Danny Boy on them songs. So, Danny Boy had to touch you in the way you just said,
And also, as well, jumping ahead in the timeline a little bit, on May 19th, 2015, you guys actually teamed up with Twista again to create the collaborative album titled Withdrawal. I was wondering, can you tell us a bit more about that amazing project? And of course, where can we actually snag ourselves a copy today if we haven't already done so?
You can go on, I think it's Tidal. You can go on Apple Music to grab a copy of that. The album itself was like bits and pieces of my solo album, Twista's solo album, and Bino's solo album. So we were just taking bits and pieces of each other's albums and just putting it together, and we came up with Withdrawal.
And And I remember as well that I believe it was like back in I want to say like 2015 criteria. I actually remember reading in Double XL that you guys were actually planning on doing a follow-up of Withdrawal 2. I have to ask, is that still on the table for you guys? And if so, like when can we actually expect that amazing project?
Definitely be expecting it next year. It's definitely on the table. We just recorded like 64 songs within a month of music. So we did 64 songs within a month. So right now we just putting all the music together, getting ready for next year. Putting the album out at the end of this year, getting ready for next year. So that definitely will be in the archives of what we're going to do.
And I gotta say as well, man, 64 songs in a month, I gotta say, you guys are definitely putting in work, man. I'm excited to hear brand new Do or Die music.
Yes, sir. Well, like we got a new album out now, which is called The Pass Out. It's on DistroKid and all other platforms, so, go and check that out, too.
And when we're on the topic of the Pass Out, if you don't mind me asking, is there any hard copies available of that project as well? Because I do know some of our listeners always like when I bring up about hard copies. We got some old school listeners always in the mix.
Oh, okay, yeah, well, definitely we don't have the hard copies, but I'm glad you said that. I'll be looking into that.
But also as well, as we brought up a few moments ago during the broadcast about your brand new, your most recent single, Hotel Room, that actually dropped March 19th of this year, I was wondering if you can tell our listeners a bit more about that amazing song, and of what can they expect from it when I play it right here immediately following our interview on 97.7 FM.
I mean, when you hear a song with Twister and Do or Die on it, you're going to hear something real iconic. That's one of those songs, like, when you listen to Hotel, you get to like, I got to play this again, I got to play this again. That's how Hotel Room is. You know what I'm saying? You want to play it again and again and again, because it's one of those songs, and it's a classic that touches you in a different way.
So everybody that is listening, once you hear it, if you like what you hear, make sure you head on over to Spotify and add that to your favorite playlist and put that joint on repeat.
Already.
But also as well, I have to ask, man, what is next for you guys? Because I know you said a few moments ago about how you recorded 60+ songs. You got the Twist of Withdrawal Part 2 coming. But other than that, what is next for you guys? Is there anything I missed? Anything else you still want to talk about or promote? Well, we still got you here live on the Canadian airwaves this evening.
Man, just go over to Do or Die Nation, Facebook, Do or Die Nation, Instagram, Do or Die Nation, Twitter. Follow us, and we'll give you all the updates of what's going on and what will be going on with Do or Die.
And I gotta say, first and foremost, thank you so much for just giving us a bit of your time here this evening and coming on 97.7 FM. I've been a fan for a long time, so it's always amazing to be able to help give people you grew up with their flowers while they're still here, man. Thank you so much for making amazing music that we all had the opportunity to enjoy and love for so many years, man. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome, and thank you for bringing us onto your station, man. And give us a call anytime when you jump on.
Hey, that definitely sounds like a plan as well. Thank you so much, and hopefully down the line we can make this happen again sometime soon. But for now, definitely have yourself a wonderful Friday night.
All right, you do the same.